Hello and what's up guys. In this video we are exposing a chilling reality. Fulani herdsmen are deliberately targeting southern Nigeria, destroying farmlands and forcing farmers to flee. This isn't just a random crisis, it is an organized takeover. And today we have shocking details from those directly affected. Right now, states like Ondo, Ekiti, Edo, Oyo, Ebonyi and Enugu are under siege. Farmers who have invested their life savings into agriculture are watching their crops disappear overnight, devoured by herdsmen's cattle. Take Olatunde Solomon for example. He left his job in Abuja to start a plantain farm in Ekiti. He poured nearly 2 million naira into it, hoping to secure his children's future. But in one night, everything was destroyed, wiped out by herdsmen. Now, he is drowning in debt with nowhere to turn. And he is not alone. Bayo Akindele, another farmer, had his yam and cassava field flattened. He lost 1.8 million naira worth of investment. Imagine working for an entire year only for criminals to storm in and ruin everything overnight. Farmers are crying out, but authorities are doing little to help. Even security forces admit they are powerless in the bush, while Amotokun lacks the weapon to fight back. So what happened next? More hunger, more farmers abandoning their land. Government officials say they are working on solutions, but words means nothing if action isn't taken. This is about survival, not just for the farmers, but for all of us. Guys, I will let you watch the video for yourself so you can see exactly what I am talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
What we must understand is the Fulani's are intentional in their conquest. They can never be mistaken for it. And I'll give you a proof. The Fulani's are intentionally with Islam, jihadism, conquest, conquering people, taking people's land. They are not shying from it. El-Rufai, Bashir El-Rufai, the son of Nasir El-Rufai, who we can as well say he is Malam El-Rufai spokesperson, came out and said that any man that dares challenge a Fulani man will be unalived. He said this and he mentioned a specific region in this country. He said Southern Kaduna will be wiped out because they continue to kill, to unalive Fulani herders.
And he was not called for questioning.
I have told you that these people are intentional. And they became intentional the very first day Usman Dan Fodio stepped his foot into Nigeria. In 1804, he told them, he gave them a marching order. He said, listen, Nigeria is your estate. So therefore, you must take power. When the British were about to go, the British saw the intentionality of the Fulani's. He said, listen guys, you have to occupy the Nigerian military, you have to occupy the Nigerian Air Force, you have to occupy the Nigerian police force. Because we know that you people are intentional about power. Have you checked the records? Before you count one Yoruba man, you don't count 10 Fulani man. Before you count one Igbo man, you don't count 30 Fulani man. So when 30 herders who are uneducated on a large scale, but wielding an AK-47, tell me what your pen wants to do. They go don't buy you finish before you go talk say you be educated man. The Nigeria contraption has been tailored, fashioned, okay, to benefit these people. And that is why a man has just been sentenced to death. You know his offense? A Fulani man with a cattle invaded his farm. He saw the man. He said, "Hey, what did you do for there? You didn't chop my corn." He started fighting the guy. Then the Fulani man brought out a cutlass. As he wanted to cut the guy's head, the guy dodged it, collected the cutlass in self-defense, unalive the Fulani man. All of this was well taped and recorded. The Nigerian judiciary system said that that guy should not have defended himself. That if at all, he should have run away, allowed those cattle to eat the corn. When you ask me questions like this, it only shows that you, as a follower of Biafra, should never relax. you should understand that when you begin to challenge the Fulani hegemony, there's only one fate that awaits you: total annihilation. The Southern Kaduna people know what they saw in the last 8 years of Nasir El-Rufai and Muhammad Buhari. They know what they felt and what they got in Middle Belt. The Benue and the Plateau people, the Lantang, the Bokos, all of them, they ran. Fulani men were now renaming their villages. Villages that were bearing Christ is the Lord. They changed it to Uthman. They changed it to Muslims' names. And the Nigeria as a republic is helpless. You asked me a question. You said, is Bashir El-Rufai, has he been apprehended? Who won't touch him? Say na the Fulani brother where the police won't go arrest him. Or say na the Tinubu wey be say na Fulani man put him into position. One say, oh yeah, go and arrest him. We have to be clear. Nigeria belongs to the Fulani's, for the Fulani's and by the Fulani's. When the Fulani man does one and goes away with it, don't try, you a Yoruba man or an Igbo man, don't try and do half. In this same country, they tell you that a repentant bandit, Lakurawa, ISWAP, has higher chances to become the president.
Which is a Fulani terror group.
You know. It is now their trade in stock. Nobody follow them drag them. As nobody they follow people man drag spare parts. Right now, banditry kidnapping is for the Fulani's. In the last 10 years, one of the most lucrative sector in this country is being run by the Fulani elders, which is what? Kidnapping, banditry, insurgency, gun runnings. That they said the soldier came, the army, a general came, he said, a Fulani man, we don't have to buy them, you know. All we have to do is just demilitarize them, we rehabilitate them, then we can reintegrate them back into the Nigerian soldiers. In fact, we can still put them into the Nigerian politics, wherein they become the Nigerian president before a Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has never wielded a gun. Before a person like you and I. So what I tell you is that as you and I are, if you go into the political arena, a repentant bandit, we don't buy so many people, they go vote for them.
Now, considering the movements and coalition by the eastern and southwestern governors to forge a common front to fight this ISWAP and terrorist influx in the southwest, could it be said that it is a failed attempt? Since people under their watch is being rounded up and killed, several communities sacked. I mean, what exactly does it mean? There is no hope for the Yoruba nation?
Well, talking of limiting these conversations to the western region is a disservice to the collective suffering of the Southerners. And when I'm talking about the Southerners, I mean the Niger Deltans.
Yes, even the southeast. See what is happening in most recent time.
Even in the south.
Women are being raped.
Some women came out in Ebonyi and Enugu State specifically to protest heavily that Fulani are raping them. In the Ondo, the Fulanis have come out to emphatically state that the forest of Oyo belongs to them. It is their ancestral right now.
Oh my God.
And nobody can recover it. It got to a point, Seyi Makinde said that, hey, these bandits are just 8 kilometers away from where I am residing. He went to commission a road around Okeogun, Ibarapa. These are places that share boundaries with Ilorin and all that. Then the bandits were just 8 kilometers away. He had to run. He couldn't commission that road. What does that tell you? This is beyond whether the Yorubas. But again, I understand where you are going, because the leaders of the Yorubas political structure are myopic people. Likewise, people like Peter Mba, Francis Nwafuru, so people like Uzodimma. Likewise, people who are in the Niger Delta. Okay, they are all being I mean, they have been manipulated by these Fulani people. I don't know how they do it, but it is so sad that we in the South, we claim that we're educated. I mean, you and I can agree, right? We know that these people are not supposed to be worked with. The Yorubas pride themselves to be the most educated people, which I have been questioning for the past 2 years. I have done so many programs on your channel that I question my Yorubas who could be listening to me that are we truly the most educated? Because we are not acting what we say, but that's aside. Despite our level of education, how come these people who are charlatans, who are non-entities, who are destitute, who are illiterate on a massive scale, they cannot compose one paragraph?
Majority of them, but not all.
Yeah, majority of them. Yet they rule over us. It is unthinkable for me. It is more like a spell. Because these guys, when we catch them, when we unveil the mask, it is a Fulani man. Not on one occasion, on multi occasions. Not 1, not 10, not 20. Nnamdi Kanu said it. The Fulani man responded that anybody that releases Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed treason against the Fulanis. You know what that means? Do you know what that means? That anybody that released Nnamdi Kanu has committed treason against Fulani's, not against Nigeria. It means that the Fulani's comes first before the Nigerian Republic. Thank you very much.
Before you leave, that the forest of the Oyo belongs to the Fulani's. Are the Yorubas accepting this defeat?
Well, I have to tell you that the Yorubas, most especially around that communities, I think they are beginning to accept their fate because most of them are going through what we call diplomacy association. They know them, but they're not challenging them. They are not taking the fight to them. Perhaps it will get to a point when the Fulani's will begin to sack the traditional rulers, and maybe when they start installing the emirs like they did in Ilorin, then they will rise. The last person who tried...
Won't that be too late?
The last person, of course it will, but the last, and this is my state, by the way, the last man who tried to rise up, we know what the Fulani Elders leader, Buhari, who said that Fulani Elders have every right to wield gun because they are global citizens. He said that they have to wield their gun because the animals that they work with is expensive. And they have to protect themselves against cattle rustlers. When he was questioned, that was the response of Buhari to the press people. That I have right, that my brothers have right to carry AK. But the man who has a farmland, who has a cocoa plantation, a cassava plantation, a maize plantation, has no right to wield a gun. The Yorubas have to, take up this challenge because the Fulanis did not hide it when they said it.
Exactly.
They said it openly that the forest across the borderlines of Oyo is their ancestral land. We have to rise. Because if I do not say it, if I do not challenge them, my fellow brothers, that we are sleeping on fire. These people are not sleeping. The same thing they said they want to do in Andoni. This is the borderline between Enugu and where? Benue, southern Benue. Go to Ebonyi around the Afiko side, Ehamufu side. This side share borders with southern Benue. The same thing they said they were going to do in southern Bauchi. Today, southern Bauchi is no more a Christian area. Bauchi used to have large population of Christians. I dare you to go check it out. So it is a serious thing. The Fulani's are intentional, and at this time, all we need to do as Southerners is to read the Riot Act against these marauding Fulani elders. Thank you very much.
Nigeria is in deep crisis as a verge of collapsing. Just yesterday, I lost my beans farm of about 3 to 4 plots was destroyed by Fulani herdsmen at Maraba Aziz. As some of us are involved in all these extra efforts to complement our earning that cannot sustain us, yet there is a high level of barbarism, bestiality perpetrated by the Fulani herdsmen, and the government are closing their eyes deliberately. And Fulani's have understood that Nigerians are fearful, are cowards, and they resort towards violence, killing, bloodshed of high magnitudes against Nigerians. I've been a victim of Fulani. Last year I lost my farm, my beans, a plot of beans to Fulani. All the investment I made in that farm, nothing was gotten. Nothing. I did not benefit, and the same thing repeated itself. So also, sweet potato, half plot of sweet potato are planted was destroyed by Fulani. As I'm talking to you now, the Fulanis are every part of Maraba and every part of Nigeria destroying farm. And then, how do you think you can manage your country economy when food security is not there? When farmers are not protected against the barbarism, against the evil of the Fulanis, the subsistence farming culture have been destroyed by the Fulanis. Do you understand me? Farmers are not protected, and there is no any other incentive for farmers. Subsidies is not there, and their security is not guaranteed. I just left the farm yesterday angry, and if I have allowed my anger to go to the level, to some certain level, it will lead to a bloodshed. I have to leave. Imagine myself, a low salary earner, investing my effort in subsistence farming, and then a Fulani will come from nowhere and destroy it in just an hour or just a minute. So the problem is that each time we want to reorganize Nigeria, this Fulani will not allow us. They will bring religion. Do you understand me? Every effort of comprehensive political reform that will usher in economic prosperity of Nigeria, the Fulani will not agree. And that is the basis of contradiction. If I may ask, what are the Boko Haram fighting for? It's ideological war, nothing more than that. Religion issue. If this kind of evil can go on in Nasarawa, a community very close to Abuja, and no anything is done, then where is Nigeria? How do you think Tinubu will succeed? If Nigerians are not growing food in their backyard, go to Maraba and you see Fulani everywhere with their cow destroying people's farm, even guiding, including my guiding. Do you know that my guiding, my okra guiding, afford me to make me not to be buying okra throughout this year? Do you know the economic implication of that? Okra. I know they buy okra. I don't buy okra because I have a guiding. I'm telling you the practical experience of what is going on. The subsidy of fuel of petrol wouldn't have a brutal economic implication on Nigeria if the Fulani are not allowed to be killing Nigeria farmers. Simple as. So if you want to, I'm not a baby anymore. If you want to arrest me, come and arrest me for telling the truth.